What does it really mean when a tiny island nation, with no natural resources, no vast land, and no massive population, ends up surpassing some of the most powerful countries on Earth in wealth? Singapore's rise is not just an economic miracle, it's a rewriting of global history. In 2025, this nation stands as a symbol of discipline, innovation, and vision. But here's the shocking twist: Singapore is now richer than countries once considered untouchable giants. How did this happen? And which nations have been overtaken by this city-state that began as a small trading post? Stay with me, because today we reveal the 10 powerful countries that Singapore has now outshined. Number 10. Italy. Italy is one of the cultural powerhouses of Europe, known for its history, art, and influence. Yet economically, it has struggled with stagnation, debt, and slow reforms. Singapore, on the other hand, is dynamic, constantly reinventing itself, and pushing boundaries in finance and technology. In 2025, Singapore has overtaken Italy in wealth per citizen and financial influence globally. The irony is striking: a small Asian city-state now stands richer than one of Europe's historic giants. Number 9. Argentina. Argentina was once among the wealthiest nations in the world, but decades of mismanagement, inflation, and political struggles dragged it down. Singapore, a nation once dismissed as having no future, has now outshined Argentina in wealth, stability, and opportunity. In 2025, Singapore's success story contrasts sharply with Argentina's lost potential. One proves that discipline and planning can lead to prosperity, the other shows how mismanagement can ruin even the richest opportunities. Number 8. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is known for its oil wealth, a kingdom that has long held economic power through energy. Yet as the world shifts away from fossil fuels, its reliance on oil has become a weakness. Singapore, on the other hand, never had oil to depend on, so it built its wealth through diversification. Finance, shipping, aviation, and technology became its backbone. By 2025, Singapore's diversified wealth stands stronger and more stable than Saudi Arabia's oil-dependent economy. The message is clear: building wealth on one resource is risky, but building wealth on innovation and discipline is enduring. Number 7. Indonesia. Indonesia is Singapore's neighbor, with far greater land, resources, and population. But when it comes to wealth, Singapore has left it behind. In 2025, the city-state's economy is far more advanced, with stronger institutions, higher living standards, and greater international respect. Indonesia has potential, but corruption and uneven development have held it back. Singapore, meanwhile, continues to attract global investors, entrepreneurs, and talent, reinforcing its place as the financial hub of Southeast Asia. This comparison is especially powerful because it shows how a small island can outperform its massive neighbor. Number 6. India. India is one of the largest countries in the world, with a rapidly growing economy, vast resources, and enormous potential. Yet the gap between potential and reality still lingers. Poverty, bureaucracy, and uneven development have slowed India's full transformation. Singapore, despite its size, has surged ahead in wealth per citizen, infrastructure, and global trust. In 2025, Singapore's wealth surpasses India in quality, distribution, and standards of living. India may still be a global giant in population and influence, but Singapore proves that smallness does not mean weakness, it means efficiency. Number 5. Mexico. Mexico is a country with huge potential, bordering the United States, with strong industries and natural wealth. Yet challenges such as crime, corruption, and inequality have slowed its ability to transform this potential into prosperity for its people. Singapore, by contrast, has built a safe, highly organized, and globally respected society. In 2025, the comparison is clear: Singaporeans enjoy far greater wealth, security, and opportunity than many Mexicans, despite Mexico's size and natural advantages. The fact that a small nation can outpace such a geographically strategic country is proof of Singapore's exceptional model. Number 4. Turkey. Turkey stands as a historic crossroads between East and West, a country of immense cultural and geopolitical importance. Yet in terms of wealth, it has struggled with inflation, political instability, and economic swings. Singapore, in contrast, has shown consistency, stable policies, reliable financial systems, and a global reputation for being trustworthy. In 2025, the wealth of Singaporeans has overtaken that of many in Turkey, and the nation's financial clout globally is far more recognized. While Turkey's history and geography give it significance, Singapore's discipline and modernity have given it the edge in wealth. Number 3. South Africa. South Africa has been a dominant force on the African continent for decades, rich in gold, diamonds, and minerals. Yet despite this natural fortune, the country has struggled with inequality, corruption, and infrastructure issues. Singapore, in contrast, created its fortune without any of these resources, relying instead on global trade, finance, and talent attraction. By 2025, Singapore's economy has not only outpaced South Africa's but also showcased a model of sustainable wealth. While South Africa's riches are often concentrated in resources, Singapore's wealth is diversified, spreading across finance, technology, education, and global trade. The message here is clear: resources alone do not guarantee wealth, vision and strategy do. Number 2. Brazil. Brazil has long been called the powerhouse of South America, blessed with fertile land, rich resources, and a huge population. Yet despite its natural wealth, inequality, corruption, and slow reforms have limited its rise. Singapore, on the other hand, despite lacking resources, created a system where discipline and efficiency reign supreme. In 2025, the wealth gap between these two nations is no longer surprising. Singaporeans enjoy far better living standards, stronger global influence in finance, and higher technological advancement. Brazil, with its massive potential, continues to face challenges in unlocking its wealth, while Singapore shows how good governance can turn even a small land into a global powerhouse. Number 1. Russia. Russia has always been seen as a global powerhouse, not just because of its size, but because of its military influence, natural gas, and vast land. But wealth is not just about resources, it's about management, stability, and modernization. Singapore, with its well-regulated economy, efficient governance, and global hub status, has surpassed Russia in living standards, financial strength, and innovation. While Russia still carries global weight militarily, economically, its cracks are showing. Sanctions, slow modernization, and internal struggles have caused its financial strength to stagnate. Meanwhile, Singapore has used its smart policies, trust in global investors, and relentless focus on innovation to outpace this giant. The contrast is striking: a country spanning continents is now economically behind a city-state. So, what lesson does the world learn when a tiny nation like Singapore becomes richer than giants spread across continents? The truth is, wealth is not about size, land, or resources, it's about discipline, governance, and vision. Singapore's journey proves that a country does not need to be vast to be powerful, it needs to be wise. In 2025, the island nation stands as proof that the future belongs not to the biggest, but to the smartest. If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because we bring you more stories that reveal the hidden truths of our changing world. And let me ask you this: if Singapore can surpass these powerful countries, which nation do you think could be next to rise above the giants?